Hello, it's Cosmin again, and I am back with another development vlog. So last time I did quite a lengthy development blog on how the research phase, which covered most of the first semester, went. Right. So before I move on, I want to say that the reason that I haven't put a development vlog for so long is due to the fact that I was focused on finishing the game, which I am proud to say that now is almost completely done, just putting the finishing touches. And what I want to do with this next development blocks is just talk about different factors that help me through the development. And I'm just gonna try and keep them as short as possible because I know, like mentioned before, the previous one was really lengthy. So what I want to talk about today is basically my workflow. So for a good majority of time, what I did was just doing environment art, especially in the second level. And if I go to the program that I'm using, Krita, so Krita is basically uh, free to draw program, and it has a lot of functionality. You can use it completely free. You can use all the options that it gives you and whatnot. It's pretty similar with Photoshop to some degree, but this program is made specifically for drawing stuff. So the workflow that I started with, especially during the second level, which had me going after finished after finishing the first level, is like this. So what I would do is normally get some inspiration images. So I would just like go online and say like search bodegas, because that's the one that I'm wondering for. I would just go to like images, and then I would just look like different images for inspiration. And this is how I did most of the environment for the second level. So I believe this was one of the images, the one that I'm showing now. Uh, this one as well to some degree, but yeah, you get the idea. So I took those inspiration images, I would just put them on my secondary screen next to me, and then I would just start drawing. So I would have this alpha layer, right? And I would be using uh the layering feature of Krita, which is really helpful and really helped me modify a lot of stuff later on during the development stage, because if I did them all in one layer, then that would be really bad. It would have been really bad actually for me. So yeah, I would usually have some layers which I would sort them in different categories. So the first layer would be the lines, where I would have a rough outline of how I want it to look. The second one which I created was actually the color one, but I'll tell you a moment why it's up. So it would be the color one, and then I would just like draw the general stuff. I would have a window one, which is like this, so it can be drawn behind the color layer. Because drawing in isometric style, it means that certain parts of the drawing need to be in the back of others. So that is why. And I would have the shading, which basically just adds some depth to the drawing, as you can see. And now this game is isometric style, but I try to do some lighting on it to give depth, but I didn't have any actual lighting on. So I kind of had to thought of how lighting would be hitting the position in which the building was put, right? So I'd have color shading for depth, and then I would just have cracks, I can give the building an old look. So what I did was just like put some black lines and then just put the opacity down, which actually really helped with giving that style. Now, this building looks like it is because in the second level, what you're doing as unknown is basically just researching for your uh, quest to find uh, an old drone for Jaeger, which helped save you. So that old sector is basically filled with a lot of buildings from an older age, which is, I would say, probably I'd put this in about maybe 2050s, whereas the game is played in 2110. So I did try to keep some of the old, modern, current stuff and combine them with some high-tech stuff, which you can see in different buildings. But yeah, anyways, that is how the workflow goes. And as soon as I finish this, what I would do, I would just go to the Godot engine and then Future Unknown, which is the name of the game, of course. I'm going to Godot engine. I will just import the stuff here in the file system. I would usually put them in assets and environment. I had them selected by level because it's easier. Actually, sorry. This is the items that go into the creation of a level. Actually, interactable assets, and then they go into the level too. And as you can see, I have here. There you go, random casino. That is the bodega that I just showed you. So I would just import those into that, and then I would just put them and create them inside a separate scene. So let's go to scene assets, environment, level 2, and let's just find the casino. Gambling then. Casino, there we go. So yeah, this is the casino. I would just import the sprite here. I would attach a collider, which I would use for mouse inputs, for mouse detection. And then I would put the dialogue system, which is covered in one of the development blogs on my website in the Future Unknown tab. Then I would have a canvas layer, which is again connected to the dialogue system. And that's it basically. That's what would form a scene of one of the items that people need to interact with. And as soon as this is over, I would just save them, and then I can just implement them inside my levels. So for this building is the old sector scene. So yeah, as you can see, it's in here. Take no notice of that. I'm still working on stuff now. So yeah, it's in here. So I would just put it into its position. And then this is how the whole level looks like in the scene. So yeah, that marks the end of my video on my workflow and how I did it. So again, just a short summary. I would just search for inspiration. Then I would just go into Krita, separate before I actually begin to draw, just separating different layers. It's usually these layers here: lines, window, color, shading, cracks. Draw what I have to draw on it, including coloring. Then put the alpha layer to 0, or just change the white to 0. Then save. I would then go and import it, and then work on it as its own scene, because it makes stuff a lot easier, especially in this engine. And then just put it here, and voila, that's how I made the majority of the levels. And that's how they came from idea, inspiration, up to actual production. So yeah, that's my basic workflow throughout all of this game. And that marks the end of the video, because I'm trying to keep it short now, under 10 minutes max. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'm gonna try to cover some more stuff in about a couple videos on the development of the game. So have a good day, and thank you.